YouTube, what's going on? About to get ready to start this live stream. Just waiting a little bit. Just waiting a little bit. All right. I couldn't help but to notice these guys right here. Little video where they were talking about. Well, let's just get into it. We'll see.
United States Antimony Corporation partnering with America's Gold and Silver Corporation on a massive joint venture to construct a state-of-the-art hydrometallurgical processing facility in Idaho to boost production and control over three key critical minerals.
A what? A hydromet processing facility. What is that? Is that some type of mining company?
Minerals for the United States: copper, silver, and antimony. Joining me now, the two leaders behind it all.
What is antimony? What's all this stuff? What is antimony? Is that like another precious metal or something?
Antimony Corporation Chairman and CEO Gary Evans, and America's Gold and Silver Corporation Chairman and CEO Paul Hewitt. Great to have you both. Congratulations on this project.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Maria.
Well, it's great to see you both, and it's certainly important. We understand these are national security issues. So, Gary, kick us off here. Tell us about the partnership and why this is important.
Well, as you know, we're the only antimony producer that does mining to finished product. And we've been processing his product with America's Gold and Silver now for years, going through a plant in Canada. And what we're doing today is circumventing that by building our own hydromet plant so we could put this plant right at his mine and use this new technology to make antimony at a cheaper cost and faster than what's been done in the past.
So basically, what they are doing is setting up our own mines, newer mines, more updated, it looks like. And we want to extract the gold, silver, copper, and antimony for ourselves.
Remind our audience why those minerals are so important.
Well, his operation is copper, silver, lead, and antimony. And so this first phase of our project will pull that antimony out and allow us to take it.
I'd have to imagine that every precious metal that he just named right there is going to shoot up in price because if we're throwing more money into these metals and the companies to mine them, then of course the price has to go up, right? Especially if we're pumping out enough to meet the demand that's steady growing and growing. I think that's the only logical thing that can come out of this.
Then to our smelter in Thompson Falls to make munitions-grade material to feed the U.S. government.
And Paul, what I'm really getting at is these minerals are important not just for devices and technology, but for the military.
They absolutely are.
Tell us about it.
Now that's huge, bro. Anything regarding the military, if we know anything, our country is going to pour tons and tons of money into the military. That's just how it works. They prioritize our national security, and so this is big, man. This is big. What is the name of that metal? What is that again?
Listen, our mine has been around since
antimony. Antimony. It sounds like a huge metal, man. We might need to be seeing how to acquire some antimony. Where can we find some? How much is it? You know what I mean?
Since World War II, actually producing this product for the military. It's very important for weapons grades. It's important for electrical stuff. People don't understand how important antimony is. And given that we produce 5 critical minerals, as Gary was pointing out, it's extremely important that this mine is reactivated. And that's what we've done in this last 12 months. We've been injecting.
So it sounds like antimony is going to be just as important, if not more important, than silver and maybe even gold too when it comes to the industrial needs, right? I'm not talking about like as far as jewelry and whatnot, but as far as the industrial needs and the industrial demand, and even wartime demands, right? Which we are literally like on thin ice. We're walking on thin ice with that. We know we're walking on thin ice when it comes to a conflict with any of those Eastern nations. So yeah, once again, this could be huge.
About $90 million of capital. We're spending another $90 million with over 300 employees. We're mining about 500 tons of ore, raw ore every day from the underground, bringing it to surface, Maria. We have a mill on surface. We crush it. We produce a concentrate. In that concentrate, we've got about 15 to 20% antimony. We've got 24% copper, 35% lead.
And he keep mentioning antimony. Antimony is all I'm hearing right now. What is antimony? Somebody please tell me, what is antimony?
And about 700 ounce per ton silver. So rather than ship all that up into Canada, we're going to be able to take off all the antimony here locally with this new facility with Gary's team. So we're very excited to partner with Gary's group. They're experts in the U.S. antimony. We're here, USAS, as our ticker, and I'm going to say it right on screen here.
Yeah.
We're excited to do this together so we can keep it domestically. We're producing this domestically. We're going to leave it U.S. made from the beginning to the end here.
You say
So basically, what he is saying is, every country around the world is fighting for control over all of our precious metals. As we are, it seems like we're slipping back into a more traditional time where we had to use these commodities as a means of exchange. And with this being said, it seems like the U.S. is now taking the initiative to produce our own minerals and extract our own minerals at our own cost, so we don't have to outsource it, which is a very smart move.
USAS is your stock ticker.
Yeah, that's right. So you can't get a better one. That USAS is our stock ticker.
Yeah.
So I got to get that one on there.
I understand.
So Maria, let me say something here. Paul and I just met 30 days ago. We negotiated this huge joint venture with our lawyers in 30 days.
Wow.
We literally signed it at 10:30, 11 o'clock last night here at the hotel.
That's right.
That's how fast we've been moving.
Wow, congratulations. And thank you for joining us on this program first to announce the details of this major signed contract that you have. But what fascinates me is that you've been able to do this so fast, and you've been mining, you said, for 12 months. Impressive.
It seems like these new mining companies are something that they are very adamant about. It seems they're very adamant about the growth in these companies. And like I said, it's all for good reason, right? Because everyone's fighting for control of these precious metals. So what better way to go about it than to mine and extract our own versus having to outsource it from another nation? You know, so this is a very, very smart and critical move at the same time. But the one thing I wonder about, right, is for us stackers, how does this affect us? How does this affect our stacks? If you hold a lot of silver, hold a lot of gold, obviously with them being able to extract more, what does that do for our silver? You know, does the price go down due to us having more access to it, or does the demand still go up? Because there is still a undeniable demand of silver right now in all across the world, man, in the militaries, industrially, in jewelry. It's just it's too high of a demand. So I really don't know what to make of this, honestly, man. It's kind of scary when you don't know exactly how these things are going to play out, but it is interesting at the same time.
President Trump is only in office for the second time, just over a year. So you got right to work when you knew the president's priorities.
Yeah, look, this mine has been around for quite a while. It's under a new management team, new board, new executive team. You're right. The last 12 months, we've revamped this entire facility. So as I said, about $90 million in 2025, and we're spending another $100 million this year with two mines. We just bought a second.
These people invested $90 million in 2025 into this, and now they're planning on investing another $100 million. This sounds like something we might want to invest in, right? Like as far as like a stock, you know what I mean? If there's any stocks that might seem on the up and up right now, it's probably going to be your mining stocks, if they have any. I'm pretty sure they do have ways we can invest into these stocks. And I'm going to find out. If any of you guys know, don't hesitate to let me know, because it's aside of these precious metals, which seem to fluctuate just based on these markets. This seems like something that can actually that we can actually capitalize off of right now. It's fairly new to the general masses. Of course, the our lawmakers and the government, they sign off on these things and they know way before we do, right? But to the general public, this is still fairly new. And I think this is a great opportunity for us who are paying attention to kind of capitalize on this new market as the world is changing.
Second one in Idaho. So a lot of work for good American jobs. We're quite excited about the future. This thing will be around for 100 years producing this. There is no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever. We will be producing antimony, silver, and copper for a long time in the future, long after me and Gary are gone.
There is so much room to grow in this new market that's emerging. Like, it's a lot of room to grow and a lot of space for opportunity. And it seems like we are genuinely getting back to a more traditional time where you actually had to obtain some sort of commodity, like a physical precious metal to barter with, you know what I mean, versus the fiat that we have right now.
But like you said, negotiating this in such a fast time frame, they were on our mine site the first week of January, and we met the teams together. We negotiated the deal, signed it last night. So you can't move that fast in our industry. So it's quite impressive.
Well,
so.
You need a commander-in-chief in place who understands this, who
Amen.
Actually can get the regulatory burdens out of the way so that you can get to work. And of course, President Trump launched this Project Vault, a $12 billion investment into America's rare earth stockpile and reserve.
$12 billion investment into these stockpiles of rare metals or precious metals. The government don't just throw $12 billion at just any project, right? That has to be like your that should pretty much let us know, like, they're about to do something with this, man. There's a lot of room to grow with this, and it's going to grow. It's inevitable as the U.S. is attempting to take control of their own silver stockpiles.
Trying to reduce the reliance on China's control of the critical minerals market. And I spoke with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Sunday about this, about the importance, why this is a national security issue of building America's supply. Watch this. There's also a big move in rare earth and critical minerals as the president comes up with this stockpile to compete against China. Is that part of it? What do you think's behind the gold move?
Well, the gold move, things have gotten a little unruly in China. They're having to tighten margin requirements. So the gold looks to me kind of like a classical.
That's another thing, man. If you're paying attention, you see China is very aggressive right now as well. China is like one of our most aggressive competitors right now when it comes to hoarding these precious metals. And these people are playing chess, so this is a W move for America, man, to try to take control of its own stockpile. But like I said, us American stackers, you know what I mean? We don't know what that means for us exactly. You know what I mean? It could be very good or it could be very bad. We will see very soon.
Speculative blow off. But what I will tell you, we had at the State Department, there was a rare earth ministerial, countries all around the world. This is what U.S. leadership looks like. The U.S. is leading in solving this rare earth problem. Countries are not sovereign. You are not sovereign if one country can control your supply chains, and we are making our supply chains resilient.
And Gary, we've talked about this before because of your incredible position on antimony. But, tell me about the bureaucracy that was there and how President.
We have to figure out how to find this antimony they speak of. We need to figure out how much it costs to get. And I'm going to do my homework on exactly what this thing is used for, because they're basically letting us know that is used for in a lot of different things,
Trump's policies have removed that because you're
which can mean good news for us if we can get our hands on it first, right?
a government contractor. The permitting is so important. What can you tell us?
Well, I mean, you mentioned permitting. That's something that's very important associated with this project. The reason we were able to move so fast is America's Gold and Silver got all the permits necessary. That takes a couple years. So that's allowing us to do this project and within a year. But back to the vault situation, it's no different than the Strategic Oil Reserve. You know, I was in the oil and gas business 38 years, and we dealt with that. Every president would put oil in, take oil out. Same thing is going to exist here. I think the Exim Bank's providing $10 billion of funding, and there's some private enterprises or public companies that are going to fund the other $2 billion. We would love to continue our contract. We have a $248 million contract with the DLA. It's part of the DOW, and
these people are playing chess. They're coming together, making strategic moves, calculated moves to take control over the silver market. And this is big, man. This is so huge for us who stack silver because, like I said, for the 100th time, we just don't know. We have no idea what this can mean for us and our stacks, right? We're reminding more and more, and it's less. That means it's more of it, right? So it's less rare if we mine more, and if it's less rare, then the price of it goes down. But on the other hand, even though we're mining more, the demand for silver and the rest of these precious metals have risen and still are rising at fast rates as well. So how long do we until we catch up, or do we catch up at all to the demand? Does the supply meet the demand soon? And could that mean downhill for the value of our stacks, or does the money going into these mining companies translate to the metals being more? You know what I mean?
We're fulfilling that contract now. It probably needs to be $1 billion, $2 billion.
Wow.
And it's not just the United States, it's NATO, it's Australia, it's other countries around the world in the same position as U.S. We're not alone.
I love this.
Yeah.
Paul, how do you scale this up? I mean, what kind of capacity expectation are you looking at?
Yeah, so we're quite excited about scaling it up, actually. And I'll just comment on that vault thing. That vault thing that the president has done is so important for us, and it could help us in tremendous ways with putting a floor into this stuff, rather than someone coming in and dropping the prices down, us having some kind of agreement where we're producing the antimony and the critical minerals we need. To having that floor is so critical for us. So that vault initiative is very, very important to us, and we're very happy to see this thing, very similar to the oil and gas. But how do we scale it up? This is exactly what we're good at. We're experts at scaling it up. We've done it with a number of other companies, but we're doing that right here in Idaho.
So with all the money being just thrown into these mining companies, you have to think that the price of these metals are going to go up, right? Especially with this guy saying essentially they've been able to come up with a floor for the pricing of these commodities, as they should already had a long time ago, and a much higher floor at that. And I would say the ceiling deserves to be a lot higher as well for silver, because the demand for these things are skyrocketing. They're skyrocketing, man, and it does not correlate well at all. The pricing and the demand does not correlate.
We expect to triple production, triple it in the next 3 years here. That's a big step up, going from.
And you hear him, he said they plan to triple the production. This is a once in a lifetime chance for all of us who actually pay attention to what's going on and how the world is changing. This is a chance for us to capitalize, man. This is a chance for us, and this is just the beginning. And I'm not talking about just with the bullion, right? I'm talking about as far as stocks or investing into these new mining companies, right? Because they're relatively new and they have a lot of room to grow, And I believe anybody who does invest in one of these new mining companies, whether they have a stock for it or however you go about it, I'm not too savvy in that department. But I believe a lot of people will capitalize off of this.
Our current production to over 300% by spending the capital to improve the shaft, putting in new equipment. We're buying all brand new equipment for this mine, putting in new excavations, all secondary egresses to make sure our miners are safe and they can go home safely to their families. So scaling it up is...
Think about what this does for our economy as well. You're giving out a bunch of new jobs, right? A ton of new jobs. Everything around there just grows immediately, man. Now there's going to be a lot of people against it. There's going to get a lot of pushback, and there's going to be a lot of people who's for it. They want to see growth, right? They want to see revenue, and they also want to take control of that market. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it plays out.
Is exactly what we do best, and we're quite excited to do it alongside with Gary's team here in the future. And as I said earlier, antimony and critical minerals for a very long time right here domestically in Idaho.
Well, that's what I want to underline here. This is happening in America.
Right here.
So what kind of job creation are we talking about? How many jobs does a project like this require?
It's not only the jobs. This project will probably have 30 to 50 employees, but his company, because he's doing all this mining, will continue now to develop new employees as well. And it's also important to note all...
See what I mean? So much space to grow, so much room to grow. And I know it will, because we're basically headed back to more traditional times where you needed to have these commodities in order to barter. And we use them as a means of trade. So it seems like we're getting back that way, man, as a lot of people are trying to slip away from the US dollar. Shout out to everybody in here watching right now, man. If you can, just go ahead and leave a like so this video can get out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, man. I'm about to keep it going.
All the equipment that we're going to purchase is U.S. based. We don't buy anything from China. We've made a pact in our company. Nothing comes from China.
Thank you.
That's a power move. That's a power move right there, man. We essentially we're making our own mines, where we're enhancing our mines, right? And then we're insourcing all of our material as well. So we're not having to outsource and pay for our material from any other nations. This is a chess move, man. It's a W move.
Thank you for doing that. Real quick, do you think the U.S. can win here?
Absolutely.
There's no doubt. No doubt.
The ingenuity this people have in the United States doesn't compare to any country in the world. We can move fast. We're doing it now, not 2 years from now, 5 years from now, today.
And we're on the right path. Yeah. We're on the right path. We're certainly on the right path. We got the right momentum now.
You are patriots and doing a great service to this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
We'll be watching your work. We so appreciate you both. Gary Evans and Paul Hewitt joining us. Stay with us. We'll be...
Shout out to Paul Hewitt, man. What did I get out of this video, man? Grab as many precious metals as you can while you can, man, because it seems that these people are going to get a grip on these things, and they're going to tighten up on it, and the market is about to change drastically. So it might not be as easy to get your hands on these things in the very near future. I don't remember what that other metal was. I'm gonna do my homework on that, and I'm gonna come back and make another video about that metal specifically, because I think that one's gonna be huge as well to know. And I don't think a lot of people really know. I've never heard anyone talk about that specific metal. So I'm gonna do my homework on that. And y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this video, man. What y'all think? Y'all think these mines are going to cause the prices in silver to drop a bit or stagnate a bit, or do you think we get a silver boom and maybe even a gold boom as well, and copper as well, right? Because all of these precious metals are seeing a higher demand. So thanks for watching, man. I'll get with you guys later. See you guys in the next video.